Hey guys, what's up? It's MatchPoint here, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to get out of a slump and be more consistent in Rainbow Six Siege. So if you do find this video useful, consider dropping a like on the video, and if there are any topics that you would like me to cover next, make sure to comment them down below so I know you're interested. If you do end up having any questions about the video, or me myself, feel free to ask me them, but I am live on Twitch on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, or in the Discord, and we can have a conversation about it. And there will be links down below. If you are new around here, welcome, and I hope you enjoyed the video, so let's get on into it. Now throughout this guide I'm going to be giving you a method and a few tips to get out of a slump when you're in that rut in Siege and you can't seem to get out of it. I'm going to be showing you how to, and as well I'm going to be also giving you some tips and tricks for being more consistent in Rainbow Six Siege. This is going to be combining two parts into one video, so therefore I'm going to be starting off with, well, I'm going to be showing you how to actually get out of that slump, and then I'm going to be showing you how you can move out of it and be more consistent in Siege. So let's dive on into it, and first of all we're going to be starting off with, how can you get out of a slump? Now if you don't know what I'm talking about, a slump is where in Siege, or any other game for that matter, you aren't going to be playing to your best ability. You feel like you can't do anything in the game, either you're getting unlucky or simply outplayed, and you feel like you're in a mental state where you simply can't get out of it. And it will obviously have many effects on your game. I'm sure we've all been in that situation where you've been in a slump yourself, and it can last for any period of time really. It can be short, it can be long, but I'm going to be showing you some methods on how to get out of it. Now when you're in a slump in Siege, you're in that frame of mind of where nothing is really working, you're playing the same strategy each time, and it doesn't seem to be clicking, which is unusual for you. The best way to go about this and solving this and fixing this slump is to simply completely change it up. Your brain right now is currently in the same zone, tunnel visioned in to this one play, and quite simply it's not working. You're in that slump, nothing is going to work for you, which is why you need to completely reset the system and change it up. Now this doesn't just apply to Siege as well, it applies to also real life. Now you're going to be getting more comfortable when you're in that rut or slump, and quite frankly nothing is going to be working. Therefore, a complete shock of the system, changing it up, is really going to help. Now if we then decide to go ahead and take that knowledge that we've learned, go ahead and apply it to Siege, what can we learn? Well, the fact is we need to completely change it up, so therefore what I would highly recommend you doing is playing an operator you never normally play. Whether you decide to go for a random pick operator, or quite frankly you choose one on purpose that you never normally play to completely switch it up. Now there are many other things that you can do apart from changing up your operator. You can change up your playstyle. If you're more of an aggressive player, an entry fragger, try playing that support role. Sit back, relax, move into a different playstyle and change it. And vice versa, if you're more of a support player, try playing more aggressive. Try being more of that entry fragger if you are in that rut or slump. Let me give you a prime example of this just so you can understand it a little bit more. If I'm somebody who is normally an entry fragger, I like playing operators like Sophia, Ash in competitive play, those types. Then if I am in a slump, I'm going to completely change that up. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be playing a support operator like Thermite. I'm going to be sitting back, I'm going to be holding it down, I'm playing completely different. This is essentially going to make you a little bit more uncomfortable because you're not used to it, which is what you need. You need to get your brain active and thinking, and it's going to help you to get out of that slump. If you are unsure on how to play a support role or an entry fragger role, I've covered them on the channel and there will be a card in the top right if you do require those videos. Now it isn't going to be a simple fix, it might not work in one round, it might take a little bit more time than that, but trust me, you will know when it has been fixed, when you are out of that, and then you can revert back to your normal playstyle. Another method to get out of a slump is going to be taking a break. Simply taking a day off Siege, a complete break from it, is going to help. Like I did mention before, the way to get out of it is to completely shock your system. If you're normally an active Siege player, you take a day break off Siege, you go and play different games, whether you're going to hang out with friends, or instead you're going to be hopping on some Battle Royale games. That is a completely different playstyle to Siege. Essentially what you're doing here is completely resetting your system, and then when you come back to Siege that next day you're going to be feeling refreshed, ready to go because you've taken a break from it. You need to get back into the swing of things and you're going to be adjusting to the groove. And when you take that day break from Siege, if you've been playing another game as well especially, what that is going to do is going to make you feel uncomfortable in your first few games of Siege when you do return back, and this is what we need. We need you to be feeling uncomfortable, even though you might not like it. It's going to get you out of that slump, it's going to help you to adjust to it and get back in the swing of things. The next method that I'm going to be giving you to get out of a slump or a rut is going to be keeping a positive mindset. Having a positive mindset in any game is so underrated, and I would highly recommend it in every situation. If you can adjust to that, remain that mental attitude, then you're going to go a long way. I do talk about topics like this a lot over on my Instagram, and there will be a link down below if you would like to check it out for some more tips for it. Now, if you're in a slump, you might feel like people should feel sorry for you. You might be thinking, well, I'm just going to rage at the game, I'm going to get mad, nothing's going to get better for me, and essentially, you're not going to be looking too good. But the fact is, you must realise that nobody is going to care in the game. Nobody's going to care, your teammates aren't going to be wanting to play with you if you're going to be raging at the game, so what you've got to focus on is getting out of it. You need to focus on having a positive mindset to get out of this slump. Whatever you do, if things aren't going your way, do not get mad at the game, do not rage, do not blame it on something else, because at the end of the day, it is your fault and your job to get out of it. Now that we have discussed the main methods to get out of a slump and a rut, you want to be working on them, and then you want to be improving your consistency in Rainbow Six Siege, which is now why I'm going to be moving on to the next section of the video, of the guide, and I'm going to be showing you how to be more consistent in Siege. One misconception that I would like to eliminate straight away is that it's okay to not be consistent. You don't have to be consistent every single game in Siege, because quite frankly, A, it's impossible, and B, there are many different situations that you're going to be facing. Now don't get me wrong, there are ways to improve your consistency, and I will be giving you some tips and tricks for them right now, but the fact is, you can't be consistent every single game. Every player that you play against, every team, every setup, every map, every gunfight is going to be completely different to the last. While you might learn a little information here and there, and it might match up similarly to other gunfights, the fact is that everyone will be different. So don't beat yourself up if you aren't consistent, because nobody is going to be completely consistent, not even the best of the best, not even Pro League players. But there are definitely tips and tricks to get better and be more consistent in Siege, which is why I'm going to be giving you the tips and tricks for consistency. Now for starters, warming up is going to be absolutely crucial here. Whether you're going to be warming up before every single session of Siege, or you're simply going to be practicing and maintaining your aim in between sessions, I would highly recommend you doing this. And these warm-ups shouldn't be quick ones that you want to get over and done with. The warm-up needs to be thorough. You need to be making sure that you're heavily warming up and you're only heading into those games when you do feel like you're ready. If you do struggle on warming up and would like a guide for it, well, I've already covered one in my 5 tips and tricks of Still Wave video with a new warm-up method that is showcased, and there will be a card in the top right if you do need that information. Making sure that you're warming up before every single session of Siege is a great way to keep your aim consistent and as well your game sense. The next method on being more of a consistent player in Siege is going to be taking breaks and keeping healthy. Now if you're watching this video, you're here to improve, you want to get better at Siege, and this is why this tip is going to come into play. Your external factors when playing Siege is really going to affect your consistency, which is why it's super important to make sure that you're rested, you're getting enough sleep so that you're not tired and groggy when you're playing Siege, as that is really going to affect your performance. As well, making sure that you're eating healthily is going to be another big factor that is going to factor in to your consistency for Siege. If you want to be playing at your peak performance and making sure that you're remaining consistent, obviously your consistency can't be driven to the max, but obviously to a certain extent, then what I would definitely recommend doing is taking breaks. You don't have to be playing the game 24/7. Taking breaks, keeping healthy is super important, and you might not think it is, but it definitely does factor in. If you really do want to get better at Siege, you will definitely need to take these into account. So to recap that last little section, making sure that you're taking breaks, warming up before your game, and as well keeping healthy and making sure that you are well rested before every session. These are going to play their part, and you should take them into account. And make sure to remember that it's okay to not be completely consistent. Nobody can do it, but you can definitely increase it a little bit here and there, and those tips and tricks that I've given you will definitely help this. Like I did mention before, not even the best of the best, not even Pro League players, can be consistent 100% of the time. But it always can be improved a little bit here and there. Can never be pushed to the max so you're consistent every game, but in Siege there are always ways and methods to get it that little bit higher. If you do need any more tips and tricks for Siege, whether it is going to be operator guides or solo queue guides, I have covered them on the channel, and there will be an end screen at the very end of the video with those guides. And that is going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you have all enjoyed. If you did or you found this video useful, then make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more tips and tricks like this. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.